Yo everyone, my name is Lakesh and today I'll show you the present subjunctive. Okay, so I'll be splitting this video into two parts. The first part will be covering when to use the subjunctive, ideas on how to use the subjunctive, and how to conjugate regular verbs in subjunctive. In part 2, as you can guess, we will be talking about how to conjugate irregular verbs in the subjunctive. Prior knowledge required. When I'm teaching you the subjunctive, I'm expecting that you already know how to conjugate regular and irregular verbs in the present tense. And then I'm expecting that you already know the imperfect / conditional endings. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you have no clue what I just said, please pause this video, go find relevant videos for these grammar concepts and go over them. Because if you know these two grammar concepts well, as I've been kept saying, the subjunctive just kind of builds on that. It'll make it way easier for you to learn the subjunctive. So some of you might be wondering, what is the subjunctive? The subjunctive is a tense which is used to express emotions and possibility. Whilst the past tense and future tense and the near future tense, they're usually used just to state events that just happened. The subjunctive tense is what you use to express your emotions. So if you've just experienced an emotional event and you want to convey how emotional you feel, the subjunctive is a great way of doing that. The English equivalent of the subjunctive, or the closest, I would say, to the English equivalent, is something that something. And then in French, it's something que something. As you already saw in a previous present tense video, que means that. So, on the left hand side of this que, you're going to conjugate it in the present tense. On the right hand side of this que, you're going to conjugate it in the subjunctive. That's how you use the French subjunctive. So, we don't believe, which is going to go on our left hand side. We're expressing our emotions, we're expressing the ideas of possibility, because we feel like there's no possibility. In this case, que is that in French. We don't believe that she loves Jack. Elle adore Jacques. So on the right hand side, we conjugated aimer, the verb to love or to like, and the subjunctive. So that's how you use the subjunctive. Okay, so ideas of using subjunctive. Il faut que, je recommande que, je ne pense pas que, je suis content que, and nous ne croyons pas que, as we just used, right? So obviously these are talking about emotions, they're talking about possibility or the lack of possibility about something happening. After the que, as I just said, you're going to need a subjunctive. So an example sentence would be like, il faut que vous étudiez pour vos examens. It is necessary that you study for your exams. Here on the left hand side, il faut is the conjugation of the verb falloir in the present tense. Here the sentence is emphasizing something, which is why we use the subjunctive, to emphasize how important these exams are. So now I'm going to show you how to conjugate the subjunctive of a verb so that you can form the right hand side of your subjunctive statement after the que. So how do we conjugate a verb in the subjunctive? So 3 different types of verbs as usual: manger, finir, vendre. Similar to the imperfect, but instead of taking the new form of the present tense, we're going to take the ils form of the present tense. Mange, finis, and vend. Remember, you don't pronounce the ENT. So then you chop off the ENT. In the imperfect, you chopped off the ONS. Here, we're just chopping off the ENT. So now you form subjunctive stem. Then, like the imperfect, you have to add on your subjunctive endings. So for je, you're going to add on e, es, e, ions, iez, ent. You might have noticed that for je, tu, elle, and ils, these endings come from the present tense of er verbs. So that's a helpful way of remembering that. The way to remember the endings for the new form and the vous form, which is a good idea in my opinion, is that the endings here are the same as the imperfect. So as you see here, these subjunctive endings are actually a combination of endings for conjugating er verbs in present tense and endings for conjugating verbs in the imperfect tense. So here are examples of the conjugations going on in the subjunctive. So you just get your subjunctive stem, and depending on the pronoun, you're going to add the appropriate ending. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that explains to you how to use the subjunctive. Wish you good luck in your French studies and be resilient, because French grammar can be tough, but if you put the effort in, if you don't give up, you will come up on top. Good luck, guys, and believe in yourselves. Have a nice day.